in a way. Yeah, it's just a bulbous weird thing, but it's, you know, it's got a bigger screen. I think it's a 13-inch maybe a 14, and CD-ROM is built in. A bunch of cool stuff, but it's, you know, the form factor and the relative smallness of this that makes it so appealing. And so huge thank you to Robert for offering this. It's extremely, extremely generous. I seriously had to double check. I'm like, are you sure you want to just give this to me? And not just this, but a whole bunch of stuff. Let's go through the stuff really quick, and then I'm going to open it up. We're going to take a look at the board. I don't know if it's actually been recapped or anything. I don't know what's been done to it, except that it's been cut apart somewhat in the back to fit like an Ethernet expansion card. But I do know that it's supposed to be a Mystic upgrade with the 575 board in there, which is probably going to mean it's a 33 megahertz 68 LCO40 processor. I don't know. See what we got. Okay, so we have an Apple Keyboard 2 classic ADB option. I quite like this. I've always enjoyed the design there with the sort of cutouts on the side where you plug in, yeah, mouse and keyboard. That's awesome. And I believe that's what actually the machine came with too, I think. I've always been kind of more fond of the Apple IIgs era, the earlier one, but that's okay. It doesn't, I mean, it wouldn't really match this machine, so that's beside the point. Yeah, good old classic ADB mouse, of course. Single button dealio. A bunch of other stuff in here. It's kind of boring, just power cords. But, you know, it's all useful. Cables for things, looks like SCSI, power cord. Yeah, there's a CD-ROM in here, too. More SCSI cables, more power cables. Yeah, I was intrigued by this. Wow, this is a long one, or deep one, I guess. I don't actually know what this is exactly, other than it being a CD-ROM. Let's see what... it's a Micronet. ADVMM4X6. Interesting. SCSI external CD-ROM. How cool is that? That's awesome. Don't have too many of these external ones. There's also a box of Mac formatted 3.5-inch floppies. Don't know if there's anything on these. Could very well be. Nice. Got a Centronics style SCSI Terminator there. More After Dark. Volume 1 on floppy disk. After Dark, just the OG version. Sweet. Some add-on modules. Classic ones. Star Trek screensaver modules. After Dark things. Oh, Totally Twisted After Dark screensaver. That one's kind of fun. And After Dark Classic on CD-ROM. See, this is like the later one that came out, I think before After Dark 4.0, maybe after After Dark 4.0, don't remember. Sort of a re-release of After Dark. But anyway, awesome, awesome. Always welcome. Love After Dark. And lastly, other than the cables that are down there, we've got an unlabeled 3D printed box with a SCSI connection on that end, and looks like micro SD and micro USB, as well as this right here, which is another SCSI adapter of some kind, like a SCSI 2SD sort of thing. Robert didn't actually know either. I think that he... Yeah, it's SCSI 2SD. That's exactly what it is. Version 5.0b. Yeah, I don't know if he'd actually ever used these or if these just came with him when he got the machine. So he got it a couple years ago from someone on eBay. And it had been like refurbished or whatever and kind of half restored sort of by the seller. But he didn't really know what had been done to it. And I guess he just didn't end up using it very much. And it was just sort of sitting there in his game room as like a nice decoration. So, let's get the machine logic board out and see what that looks like. See, I really am assuming that that's like another SCSI 2SD, SCSI 2SD just in an external enclosure there. And a different style SCSI connector. That's pretty awesome though. I've never seen it configured like that. All the other ones I have look quite different. Doesn't that look nice? Yeah. So we don't actually even know if this works. He said that it did the last time it was powered on, but that was like 2 some years ago. So famous last words, right? You never know. Yeah, look at that cutout. This whole thing has been cut out and modified. I guess that's part of the mysticifying process. I'm actually not entirely sure. I've never looked into that too much. And I was honestly just looking for one of these that was stock. And then I could do the Mystic upgrade myself. But hey, it's already been done. And I guess now I'll just be kind of looking out for a stock motherboard. Because if I do a video on this, I'd like to show what it was like originally and then with... Ooh. Ooh, what in the world? Anyway, I was saying I'd like to show this before and after, but I don't actually have an original classic, color classic motherboard. I have a Mac Classic. I don't have a color classic motherboard. I do have this though. So it's dusty, but otherwise looking okay. This interesting battery situation though. This looks... At least it's not leaking. I'll say that much. Like the dual RAM situation too. I definitely saw that in a lot of machines for a short period in time as they were transitioning from one to the other. Could be like 16 megs, maybe 20, I don't know. So yeah, there is the expected processor. A 68 LC040 RC33. So that's, I think, what the LC575 originally had. And you can upgrade a bit. Yeah, there's a bunch of things you can do to this. Those caps, though, are looking pretty standard to me. It's hard to tell with the grime if there's any leakage. But yeah, those surface mount electrolytics. Yeah, dude. There's some under here, too. They're looking pretty stock, though. I'm not seeing any evidence of soldering of any kind. There is like some grossness hanging around. Generally all over. Like look at this. What is that? I don't know if that's like no, it's on this side too. Yeah, look at this. Like right around the processor area.